do a little something like that.
Do the end of it. Let's do the. Go on. Let's just go on.
Let's just do the second page.
Sure. Ready? It'll be a little longer. Sure.
Good morning. I'm Fool Carmen Barsody, and I'm here today with other fools. We have here Poindexter, also known as Dennis Adams, who is the worship associate today. We have Cheryl Shanks, Ed Bowers, Kim Diamond, and Joelle Yates will be reading the poem of Jesse Johnson, who is sitting here in the congregation with you. And it's wonderful to be with you here today. The last time I was up here, the only congregant in the pew was Julia Wald. So we have a few more of you today. So we faithful fools and poets are leading the service this week as it's very close to our High Holy Day of April 1st, as well as it is National Poetry Month. And it was April 1st, 1998, that Reverend Kay Jorgensen, who was the social justice minister of this church, and I officially declared ourselves the Faithful Fools, located in the Tenderloin. If you are on live stream, you can take a moment to download the order of service from the website or the electronic newsletter. If you don't receive the newsletter, you can sign up for the link in the chat. And we also want to take a moment just to recognize everybody who makes this possible. We have Eric Shackelford, Shulee, and Donald Shearer on the cameras. Joe Chapot will be moderating the live chat. Jonathan Silk is the communications director, and he's also going to be playing drums today. Remigio Flood and Leland are Kelvin and Leland are our sextons today. Amy Kelly provided the gorgeous flowers, along with the earth and all those who tended them before they arrived here. Linda Messner is our head usher. Tom Brookshire, Les James, and Ralph Fenn will be monitoring the Zoom hour, the Zoom coffee hour. And then we have our musicians. We have Mark on the piano, Mark Sumner, Ben Rudiak-Gould, who is our song leader, Andrés, Vera, and Matthew Linaman, our gorgeous cellists here, and Jonathan will be on drums. So as we gather this morning in person or on live stream, also let us hear anew very familiar words that we say in terms of our covenant, our chalice lighting words, to hear them anew as poetry. Let them sing to our hearts and to our minds as we say them together. We are grateful that you are here with us this morning, and we welcome you to worship. So let us begin by singing hymn number 1000 in the Teal books. Morning has come, and if you're on live stream, you can find them in the order of service online.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith, guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open our eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts and welcome it among us. The light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
Please join me now in saying together the words of our chalice lighting found in your order of service. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the fire of commitment. We light this symbol of our faith as we gather together. That's what happens when you send a clown to do a person's job. No, the chalice is just not lighting up today, so we'll put a candle there, I think.
So I'm going to change it up just a little bit and have Cheryl read her poem at the end of the announcements, because we actually have quite a few announcements this morning. If this is your first time watching, thanks for joining us. You can follow along in the order of service, and the description of this video is emailed to everyone who receives the newsletter, which you can get by signing up through a link to our connection form that is in the order of service. There's also coffee hour online as well as out in the courtyard for those of you who are here. Please note, in the order of service, there are many chances for spiritual practices to engage in deeper study and also put your value into practice through a variety of opportunities here. Also, there's going to be a Seder on Friday, April 22nd, so please sign up to join. And we also want to thank everyone who's been giving for the annual giving. Thank you to everyone who's handed in your pledge. 141 households have gotten us 4/5 of the way to what we need to meet our expenses this next year. The remaining 80 pledging households, however, are all needed for us to meet that goal. And the board will be working on the budget this next month, so we need to hear from all of the folks. But thank you to everyone. We Fools have out in the courtyard a whole Fools market. And in there is our poetry anthologies. Many of our poets are published in. Sister Addie made some beautiful children's aprons and cards and many things there. And even a red nose if you'd like to take one home. Also this afternoon, there is a memorial service for Ardith Fortier, and it is at 2 p.m. here in the sanctuary, and everybody is welcome. Let me see. So Sarah Ellerman and Gino Fortunato, if you could come forth. They're going to speak to us about the auction.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Ellerman on the auction committee, and this is Gino Fortunato with me. We're here just to talk to you about, We're here to talk to you about the auction, which is happening over the next 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today, Sunday, April 24th, we're going to have a party out in the courtyard after services, and we're really excited about it. That's the 24th. And then the week preceding it, the 16th through the 23rd, is when we are going to do the online auction. And we just really would like everybody to think about donating, attending the party, participating in any way.
As everyone knows, the auction is the second most fun thing that we do in this church. And as Lori Lai, our treasurer, will remind you, part of our covenantal being together is the fact that we, and those of you online, have agreed that we're going to raise some money. Part of that is the auction. So the thing that we need you to do most right now is to go to the donation site, the link of which is in the order of service, and donate something. We already have some great donations, but please, something an experience that you would like to share with our friends here. Maybe a small party, maybe you're an excellent baker, maybe you're just a so-so baker, but you know what? So-so baked cookies are still pretty darn good. So anything that you would like to donate, please go to the website as soon as possible and get it up there, because I don't know if you noticed those dates, but they're really, really, really soon, like in the next week or two. So please get on it immediately. Thank you so much.
And we'll be out in the hall afterwards to help you brainstorm if you're not quite sure. Thanks.
And Lori Lai will be coming to make an announcement about a women's march.
Hi, the UUSF Women's Rights Group is actually going to invite women, men, and children, and everyone you know to come out and do an abortion rights demonstration on April 9th. And this is at UC Berkeley Sproul Plaza, 12 noon. That's at Telegraph and Bancroft. And we actually have a table out in the hallway in case you need more details. We're arranging rides, and also we're selling these green bandanas. These bandanas were actually originated from Latin America. The women of Colombia wore this as a green sign for the movement, and they actually got the right to abortion from the Supreme Court. So inspired by that movement, we're going to have a nationwide day of protest, and Berkeley is our San Francisco Bay Area place to do it. And please, we have t-shirts, we have bandanas, and you can sign up for a ride and just sign up, period. Everybody is welcome. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. So now we just take a deep breath. And Cheryl Shanks, I'd like to invite you forward, Cheryl. Cheryl is a community activist, and we'll be beginning our day on poetry with a poem called Together We.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here. My father wrote a poem in 1974. It was relevant then, and it's relevant now, so I hope you enjoy it. Together we. I shall walk in the streets amongst you, my friends, my earthly brothers and sisters, and when you see me and I you, we shall know each other. For you are my image, and I am yours. For we are of the Creator whom I should know, but I don't. I believe, but do I? Amongst you, my friends, I'm like you, but I'm not. I seek the truth, and you are the truth, because you are yourself, my friends, my earthly brother and sisters. Look at us. We're white, black, brown, red. Isn't it beautiful? It's like a bouquet of roses. We are all one, but yet we're not. That's the challenge, but yet it's not. Because the good flower will shine. It will have a universal smile, a smile that's real. The other flower might have, shall have no glow. Profitable success it might have, but it really won't. But now here we are in the streets amongst each other, my friends. For we are truly earthly brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. And just before we go into reading the covenant together, I just invite you to just take a moment to look around and see who we are here together with. And to all of you on live stream, we welcome you. So let us say our covenant together.
I invite you to join me now in saying aloud the simple, poetic, and challenge-filled affirmation of how we strive to be together. You can find the words printed in your order of service to our covenant, followed by our doxology. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another.
From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung through every land, by every tongue. De todos bajo el gran sol, sur esperanza, fe, amor, verdad y belleza cantando de cada tierra, cada voz.
So this morning we will be bringing together both our meditation and the ringing of our gong. I'm going to lead us in a meta-meditation, a practice concerned with the cultivation of loving kindness and compassion. And after the meditation, I will ring the gong to remember all who arise in our meditation and also to carry on the ritual we began in July of 2019. This meditation of loving kindness is directed towards freeing the person doing the meditating from any negative thoughts associated with holding grudges or ill will against any being. Holding a grudge against someone, or being angry or resentful, or wishing harm upon another. So I invite you to just get comfortable, maybe feel your feet on the floor. Take a nice deep inhale, followed by a slow, long exhale. As you do this, find an easy rhythm in your breathing. And imagine the love and light of the divine consciousness of God, of the wisdom of your own heart pouring over you and washing through you, revealing the purity of your own heart. Feel yourself safe, loved, and enclosed in this radiant light. And as I say these words, if you know them, say them or say them after me. May I be at peace. May my heart remain open. May I awaken to the light of my own true nature. May I be healed. May I be a source of healing for all beings. So now I invite you to bring to mind someone you love or someones you love. As they come into your mind, see them in as much detail as possible. Imagine the light of divine consciousness pouring over them and revealing the purity of their own heart. Imagine them safe, loved, and enclosed in this radiant light. And then bless them. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed, and may you be a source of healing for all beings. And now comes the little tougher part, to bring someone to mind who's rather difficult or hard to love. Maybe start with someone who's just a little hard to love. Bring this person to mind. See them in as much detail as possible. Imagine the light of the divine consciousness pouring over this person, revealing the purity of their own heart. Try to remember their humanity and your own. Imagine this person or persons safe, loved, and enclosed in radiant light. And let us bless them. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed. And may you be a source of healing for all beings. And let us breathe in peace and breathe out love as we ring our gong in recognition of those at our borders, those in detention camps, in honor of refugees and asylum seekers everywhere, immigrants, and even citizens of our own nation for whom a safe and stable home is a longing and not a reality. We ring our gong for the many who lost their lives in COVID and for the people of Ukraine, for all the life lost in all the ways it is lost there, in hopes to end bloodshed and restore peace and retain their sovereignty. And we ring it for all the people who came into your minds this morning. May we ease the tide of human suffering this coming week, however so we can. Thank you. Poetry. A word after a word after a word is power. A word after a word after a word speaks truth. A word after a word is powerful. It awakens dormant cells, sometimes with a jolt or a rush or a refreshing stream of water. It wasn't long after Kay Jorgensen and I moved into the Tenderloin in 2000 that we were visited by Ed Bowers, asking if we would be interested in publishing a poetry anthology. He was a little like the angel Gabriel dropping in on Mary and casually asking if she wanted to give birth to a child that would become a great light, even potentially save us. We didn't immediately jump at the idea, and nor did Mary, for that fact. But Ed, our angel Gabriel of poetry, was persistent, and that persistence led us to say yes. Sure, why not? If I were to look back at all of the yeses, the sures, and the why nots we have said over these 24 years of being faithful fools, I can say honestly that it is probably one that I am most grateful for. The voices of poets have filled the fool's court, and as I listened to the words, the dormant, often hidden or neglected parts of my own very human self came alive. They were given words, and the words shed light on moments of absolute grief and fear, of anger and pain, love and struggle, and joy. Word after word after word. And I was and am so grateful. As we say in our mission statement, we discover on the streets our common humanity. Well, in poetry, we too discover our common humanity. Cheryl, Ed, Kim, Jesse, and Joelle are real human beings. They live and invest their lives in the Tenderloin. They are fools who hold up mirrors to all of us of what it is to be human and to live in a very human world. A world that may not always be so nice, but is alive and honest. As Fool Sam Dennison wrote in our anthology, the variety of people and the grandeur of their dream at the Tenderloin crossroads are no less than at any oasis on the ancient Silk Road that once connected the spices and exotic goods of the Far East with the awakening culture of Western Europe. It is also a crossroads of people, a place where poets meet one another, where students meet poets, where faculty meets fools, and a crossroads of life. A place where word meets the page, where truth meets dreams, and where the past meets the present. End of quote. So as we prepared for this service, Ed says, "What do you want me to write?" So I said, well, what does the world need from fools today? What does the Tenderloin need from faithful fools? So in true Ed's style, he responded with his words.
What does San Francisco need from the faithful fools? I was asked to write a poem about what San Francisco needs from the faithful fools, but I'm such a foolish poet that words run away in fear when I need them most. Words, unlike the faithful fools, are highly unreliable. Focusing on them too much can make you blind. Unlike words, I have never been let down by the faithful fools. Faithful fools have saved my life, as well as the lives of many others who exist in the land of the Tenderloin dead, people who I have known and not known. But at this point in time, San Francisco needs its whole life saved. The land of the dead is spreading out into the city of life as I speak. Broken human beings who feel like they belong nowhere are everywhere here. If San Francisco was King Lear, it would be going quite mad in need of a fool right now. In Shakespeare or in life, a consultation with fools is needed if we are to survive the self-righteousness, greed, disingenuousness, and most of all, the suicidal despair that has, for over a decade, caused my neighborhood to become another Jonestown. Lear needed his court jester to stay sane at court. San Francisco needs the fools for exactly the same reason. But what does San Francisco really need specifically from the faithful fools? I don't know. I am just a poet fool with no words. Ask them. They will meet you where you are and put a voice to your words. What more could you need?
Thank you, Ed. So the offering this morning does go to support our work and our ministry. And as I was reading through of all the ways to give, I was reminded of Rumi, who said, "There's many ways to kneel and kiss the ground." Well, if you look in the order of service or online, there's many ways to kneel and push the donate button. But everything that you give does go to support our work. And this last Friday, which some of you were there, we Faithful Fools celebrated paying off our building in the Tenderloin. And that was made possible very much by this congregation that provided bridge loans and have donated over these 24 years. So we thank you. And so the baskets, I guess, are going to be passed today. There's also ways online. If you donate online, please put the special offering, and the directions are also in the order of service. So also at the Whole Foods Market, you may. So the offering will be received, and we thank you. So I invite to read now Joelle Yates will be reading a poem by Jesse Johnson called A Fierce Thirst.
Good morning, everybody. A Fierce Thirst by Jesse James Johnson. A fierce thirst, blistered feet, longing for a deep night's sleep. To know these things is to understand the importance of being generous with water. To know these things is to understand why a democracy needs public benches. To know these things is to understand why we dream of a better time. This dream is a tree growing in a grid of streets that intersect with the destinies of people who struggle with poverty. A people generous and tolerant with stories of sorrow, and good friends passing with stories of others forced out by high prices, with stories of resilience that defy all predictions. This dream is a tree that sprouts not leaves, but wings, as will happen when the people are treated with dignity and compassion. Their thoughts take flight. They remember a future long forgotten. They come to believe in their ability to make things anew. This dream is a tree that flowers. In its branches, art, poetry, music blossom. Tales of exile and acceptance, stories of injustice and survival, flower into a mosaic of narratives of the Tenderloin as a kaleidoscope of languages, beliefs, genders, complexions, and cultures. A view of our world unique and unknown to outsiders. This dream is a tree fruit-bearing, a harvest of small victories, a job interview, a new pair of shoes, a haircut, a room. Being of value, going to school, finding strength among those around you, finding meaning in the struggle, finding yourself in helping others, feeling a part of something larger than ourselves. This dream is a tree that grows out of our community. This dream is a tree deep-rooted and far-reaching. Thank you.
So now it's our chance to sing some poetry. The song is There is a River Flowing in My Soul, hymn number 1007 in the Teal hymnal, or it can be found in your order of service.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul.
I invite Kim Diamond up to read her poetry, Us as Community.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me into your life today. My poem comes of being homeless and working my way back up off the streets, and I wouldn't have been able to have done that without my community. They became my family. So as we build our containers, while we decide who we are and what we want, a group forms from our neighbors and strangers. We begin massive research. We compare our notes. We throw our ideas around by yarn and by moat. And as we build our ally list and we find those neighbors that need us, those that need us to stand beside them, to fight against injustices, we come, we get involved. Come, get involved with your neighbors. As we share our stories and our lives, we begin to hold hands. And then we begin to hold one another up. We hold one another up to make a difference in our community. We even get to make a friend or two. Because our long-term goal is rule number one. The most important victory of all, for all of us, is us as community. Thank you.
So there's more. I keep pulling this over, and I have a mic on here. Faithful Fools are celebrating poetry all month long, and it's beautiful to share it with you. And before I have Poindexter read our final poem, which is actually from a Unitarian Universalist, Lynn Unger, called Fools. And Vanessa sent it to me in the email. She came upon it a few weeks ago, and she said, "Did Lynn write this for you?" And if she didn't, she did. And so Lynn gave us the permission to use it. If you haven't picked one up, in the back we have an envelope that has this month. What we have done is Sam created some beautiful poetry cards that each of us fools chose a poem, and she designed a card, and we're sending them out in honor of Kay Jorgensen and her clown Oscard. Because one of the things that Oscard would do in April is, instead of pickpocket, she would put pocket. She would put pocket poetry, and loved to do it. And in practicing put pocketing, she would start out with little things like slips of paper. And Oscard was extremely proud when one day Oscard was able to put a banana in somebody's pocket without them noticing. So we invite you to practice put pocketing or sending out the cards to anybody, because I think it is a moment, I know for myself, that sharing poetry and saturating our hearts with poetry in this month and every month. And there's poetry that can be online and you can share it. So with that being said, I invite Poindexter to come forth and to read Fools by Lynn Unger.
Fools by Lynn Unger. I'm looking for a few good fools, not idiots, though I know, Lord knows those are thick on the ground. I mean proper fools, the court jester who speaks truth to the king, the tarot card fool who dances blithely, little dog at his heels on the edge of a cliff. And of course the chasm is real and more dangerous than you can imagine. Famine and drought, corruption and greed, war and genocide, it's all there. Which is why I'm looking for fools. Fools who know how to juggle not just balls, but possibilities, who can keep incompatible ideas simultaneously aloft. Fools who step lightly, who dance because their feet are tired and there are rocks in the road. Fools who know that sometimes the only way to find a new path is by getting lost. I'm not saying the job is easy. Bumps and bruises are assured, and the pay is literally a joke. Still, the work is not without its rewards. The view from the cliff is extraordinary, and the company divine. Who doesn't want to journey in a cloud of laughter? And what in your full agenda is so much more important? You know you want to join the merry band. Here is your badge. Commence.
Thank you, Dennis. So now let us sing together The Fire of Commitment, number 1028 in the teal hymnals. Thank you.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sends our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion finds fulfillment, and our future can be gay.
So, let us go out into the world in peace, to be of good courage, to hold fast to what is good. And I say to us all, may we be at peace. May our heart remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true nature. May we be healed, and may we be the source of healing for all beings. And of course, let's not forget to saturate the world with poetry. Thank you.
Thank you.